Hey guys. Oh, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I didn't even realize we were live. Hope everyone is good. Let me just see who's in the chat today. Sorry about the delay, everyone. We had a few technical difficulties, but you did have me yesterday as well. Just seeing who's in the chat, see if we got any of our regulars here. It's nice to see familiar names. I was going to say faces, but names. But hello everyone. How has your week been? Let me know in the comments how everyone's week has been. And unfortunately, I am still a little bit ill. So you will have to excuse my blocked nose. I will do the best that I can. At the end of the session today, I will be doing another giveaway. So there'll be 3 winners. I just want to let you guys know that if you are selected at the end, you need to still be on the live, because if you don't, if I call you out and you are not here, we will have to pick someone else. Let's say, let me leave it for another. Oh, Gertrude, I'm sorry to hear that. Not every day is a good day in trading, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that when you have bad days, like, this is completely normal. You're going to have bad days, you're going to have bad weeks, you can even have a bad month. Institutional traders can still have a negative month, they can still have a negative 2 months, but the real skill is about being able to manage these emotions when you go through them. But yeah, so picking up where we left off last time, which was only yesterday, I had a quick look at BTC and USD. For me, I am seeing this as a bearish trend. I'd like to see it come down to here, but this isn't really something that I massively look into, but I know quite a lot of you guys do. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you trade Bitcoin. But as we can see, we had a bit of accumulation here, but we have broken those lows and really struggling to break past this high, and that was your previous high. So we are steadily creating higher lows and then lower lows as well. So and you can see that structure there on the 4 hour. I think once we could break past this area here, we could see probably a nicer move down there. But yeah, let's move on from BTC. That was just where we picked up off from yesterday. It's not something that I actually trade too much, but I do look at Bitcoin, so it's an interesting one. But oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I just sound so bunged up. It's honestly non-stop. Yesterday, again, where we picked up, I'm just picking up where we left off. We were around here yesterday, and I said I would want price to kind of come back down to these areas before our buy. But as you can see, we are just pushing up now. So I can see this kind of traveling back up to this key zone over here. Also, we have like a 4 hour or a daily trend line up there as well. If we're looking at the fact that we've just created a new high, even though the extension isn't too big, but I would be cautious when things like this happen, because from my experience, when we just keep pushing up very, very steeply, at some point we actually do start to do something like this. It never came back into, this is the, I want to say, we used the fib tool yesterday, so yeah, so we have, oh, why have I got this the wrong way around? So bunged up. So yesterday we had these areas marked up. So we have here There's the 50% zone, the 0.6, and then the 0.7. So these areas were areas where I would have wanted to buy from, but as you can see, we never even came down to this area. So what we could see is, you know, as the extension is getting a little bit exhausted, and what I mean by exhausted is it, you know, it's only just about broken the high there before creating another potential high. But we could see it come to take out, you know, a little bit of liquidity and then move up. But yeah, USD JPY has definitely been very interesting for me at the moment because I've been learning a lot about the fundamental side of things, and you know, we've been kind of shorting the yen, buying the dollar for a while, but I feel like the Japanese yen is really trying to push back. But the fundamental side, you know, it should show some strength in the yen. So it's interesting because we can see this kind of turning now. So we could see a little bit of this bearish trend happening. Just going to read some of your questions because I know yesterday I actually didn't get around to answering all of your questions. You're human, it's fine. What happened to my nose? I'm just very blocked up. I'm just ill. It's nothing crazy. We'll have a look at NQ in a minute. Good morning, Twilight. Good morning, good afternoon. For some people, it's afternoon. For me, it's afternoon. Did I trade today? I haven't actually been trading today. But hello, everyone. It's good to see you all here. Good structure to study. But yeah, so if you're new here, you know, for me, I like to trade. I'm a price action trader, so I'm not someone who wants to try to predict the market. I want to basically follow the footprints of the chart, but I have started to pay a lot more attention to the fundamentals, but that is a lot more in depth. There's a lot of research for you to be doing to kind of understand things about fundamentals. And I think I was speaking to my mentor yesterday, and he told me that, you know, not everyone is going to enjoy looking into fundamentals because it's so much research, but some people genuinely do love doing that. So you have to really figure out what your strong points are, what your edge is. You know, what my edge is, it could be completely different to someone else's. You know, you got to play into your strengths. But yes, so I can see us pushing up a little bit more on the yen. Oh, why have I been logged out? Sorry guys, I've just been logged out. Not too sure what happened there. Let me just get back in again. How strange. But yeah, so this is on the daily chart. We can see that we do have a bit of an extension happening right now, and I can see it coming up to around here. But you know, like I said, I kind of missed any potential entries for me. Even on the 1 hour, you know, there wasn't really. Yesterday it was like, I mean, we could have potentially had a bit of a entry today. Yeah, as this area here. So again, it all just depends what time frame you want to be trading on. So this is the 1 hour. This is the lowest time frame that I like to trade on. You know, this. Even so, no. Really, there's not a lot of structure here to be traded. You know, I like trading market structure. So when there isn't enough market structure for me, it's not. There's not a, this was my original kind of zones that I wanted to buy from. You know, it didn't really create another low. Yeah, I mean, you could have this area marked up here. To potentially buy from, but you can see that the momentum is actually slowing down a lot more. Sometimes I use the MACD to help understand what the momentum in the market actually is. But like I said, today, guys, I haven't actually been trading, so I haven't looked too much into the fundamentals and what's going on. Friday for me isn't always a day that I love to trade. I don't know what keeps going on with my light. It just keeps switching off all the time. Let's have a look at NQ, because I know I saw a few messages about NQ. So NQ is something that I really liked to trade, but I think at the moment it's just looking very ugly. Like, this is the range that we're in at the moment, you know, and it's just been bouncing really between our swing high and swing low. I suppose there would probably be quite a bit of opportunity on the lower time frames. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, this was our trend line that was on the daily. It did break, so I'm just going to move this out a little bit to here. Had a bit of a fake out up there. So it's kind of, it's not really even a trend line if you want to move it up there. But still, you know, this is a very key area for price to break. If we break above this line up here, above this area, then we're definitely, you know, looking at those longs. But then that is back in the all-time high again. So let's start dropping down. So it's not too bad. I think because the ranges are actually so big, I might actually start looking at trading NQ again. NQ, whilst it was kind of stuck here, I was like, oh, I don't really like that. But the range now has become a little bit bigger. So we've actually got a trend line within the kind of big trend. So if we have a look here, we've got this downward trend line that we've been following on the 4-hour. So I'm going to show you how I mark up my key areas as well. So this technically was a key area up here, which was already created on the daily, hasn't been tapped into as of yet with the new price over here. This area broke its low, so this would be another key area for me. And as you can see, price really respected it. It really, you know, kind of wanted to break above it, but it came back up to the trend line that was created. When we have like bigger zones like this, I like to personally trade from the 50% area. So my position would be something like this. And then this here would be another key area for me. And as you can see, you know, prices, this is definitely seeing this rejection like this. I would have 100% gone in for a position like this. I ideally kind of aimed for, you know, kind of these lows. That would have been a really nice one, but it hasn't exactly come all the way down there just yet. But we had this huge reaction back to the upside as well. So it's then created a bit of a demand area. So if we look here, we've created this demand area, the 50% zone on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour is here. I no longer really drop down to the lower time frames. Like, I really try now to stay on the higher time frames. But yes, so we were in a bearish trend, but it does look like we could be potentially reversing now, because if you look at market structure, we started to, you know, we broke above this subjective high, making that, and we never came back down to break this low. Instead, we are creating a higher low. So it just, we're now rejecting again out of the zone. This is the 50% mark, literally tapped into it, rejected straight back out. So yeah, we could see it potentially come to break this trend line. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. I'm definitely slightly more bullish, but I would now want to see if I wasn't going to be taking a position, if I've kind of already missed it. We've had a lot of this is definitely a big area of interest for me around here. What I would want to see now is, you can see here that on the 1 hour we have bearish structure, and what I would want to see for me to then enter a buy position is bullish structure on the 1 hour first. So once we can get a low to break a high, we then can, like, for example, if this now can kind of start breaking its highs, then we've got this kind of new area to potentially now take a position from. So this would be our new zone if we can actually start breaking highs. I'm just so sorry, guys. Like, I could just feel myself getting more and more bunged up. Yes, I'm always suffering from colds. I think this is what happens when you have a baby. She's she's in childcare, so she's always got a cold, and then that means I've always got a cold. But honestly, guys, I actually feel fine. It's more the fact that I'm just super bunged up. But yeah, so definitely, I would want to see now bullish structure happening on the 1 hour, and then potentially then taking a position from this new zone that created the bullish structure. But yeah, I haven't actually looked at NQ for a while, and I think I will kind of get back into trading it because the range is at least a little bit bigger now. So even if it does kind of, just range between the daily swing high and swing low, it's a big enough range for me to capitalize as a day trader. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the questions. I'm just gonna see. I think I can see some people asking about gold. You know what, guys? I swear to you that I'm actually not this bad when I'm not doing lives. Whenever I come on live stream, my nose just plays up so bad, and it just makes me sound so much worse than I actually am, because I've actually been fine. So annoying. Anyway, I'm bullish on gold. You didn't really get the rejection off this trend line that I was thinking that was going to happen, but it is quite a steep trend line. I think I actually changed it to, I was just kind of changing it to the 4 hour. Bit of a slow movement though. What I really wanted was price to come back to this area to then trade it back up to here. But as you can see, we never actually came back to it. So, this new area kind of is created, but we're still in that extension. But this is an area, where is this even created? I'm not too sure how or why. Is it on the daily? No. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. I'm not really too sure why that's like that. Yeah, this zone that is here is actually more like there. This little bit of consolidation kind of created my zone. It's only, did it even tap into it? Yeah, it kind of tapped into it once. So again, this is the 50%. We're in the extension right now, so we could see a little pullback happening, but I am quite bullish. So even if we do have a little bit of a pullback, but again, gold there's a lot of volume in gold. You can easily trade counter trends, I think, with gold at the moment, either way, because small movements are very big movements in terms of pips. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more bullish. I think if we can break through this zone here, yeah, wow. Okay, so if we can break this through this zone here, this sell zone will then, for me, turn into a buy zone. So if we actually got a breakthrough, so let's just say we actually broke through, then come to retest the area. If you look, this is now where we have a clean range. The next zone would be up here. It's quite a big one though. But yeah, that's probably going to be a lot of pips. So if you manage to actually get an entry once we kind of break past these areas, this is like 2,000 pips. It's a lot of pips. But yeah, so right now, we got to make sure we don't need FOMO. We just need to be patient. We need to wait for the right setups. I probably won't get one for today. This is the 4 hours. So yeah, I doubt it. And I don't particularly, as a day trader, like to get into a position late Friday afternoon and then have to hold it over the weekend. So I will just be potentially looking to see how we react around here for maybe just a pullback to happen back down to the areas that we like. For me, this is like our retest area. So let's just say we could get a position, a reaction from around here, play it down to here. Let's see what that is looking like. But yeah, we can clearly see there's a lot of buying momentum right now. Still 1 to 3. So still a lot of buying pressure, but we are in the extension. What comes after the extension? The pullback, the correction. So this is on the 4 hour as well. So it gives you those kind of bigger moves if you're playing counter trend trades. But yeah, we want to actually see some type of rejection off the 50% zone. So yeah, it will be interesting. And like I said, I hope that we do break out. So then we get that clean range to the left, back up to this zone here, and then closing in back up nearly to all-time highs again. But yeah, be careful with gold, guys, because like as you can see, like the trades that I'm putting up, like the pips are, there's just so much amount of pips in such a small move at the moment. So I'm finding it very hard to have like super tight stop losses with gold. So you need to make sure that your risk management is on point. And also you understand the market that you're trading in, because your stop loss is so important. You don't want to keep hitting stop loss and then price going in your favor, because you're just losing money when you were actually right. You just were wrong about where your stop loss should be. So I personally think that it's really, really important as a trader that you really understand about where you should be putting your stop loss, understanding the market that you're trading in. Like I personally think that you at the moment with gold, it's very, very risky to have such tight stop losses. I'm just going to read some of the comments here. Oh gosh, so blocked. Mark, okay, took a loss in gold buys London session. You know what? You just got to learn from it. Figure out where you went wrong. Fundamental is one piece in a trading space. Yes, same as technicals. There's multiple aspects to trading. I think you have your emotional management, you have the psychology and understanding market psychology, human psychology. Then you have the technicals, and then you have fundamentals. It's not as super straightforward as everyone thinks, and I think as you become more of a professional trader, you start to really take into considerations all of these different aspects. My edge is trading on trends. Amazing. Do you look at oil? I actually never do look at oil. I do look at silver though, so maybe we'll have a quick look at silver. Yeah, we'll have a quick look at silver before we do our giveaway. But yeah, gold is definitely tricky on Friday. I think Friday's a bit tricky anyway. Do you find FX easier to trade? I find currencies a lot easier to trade. I'm not gonna lie. Is it possible? You know what, with gold, I feel like it's possible for it to do anything. It's best not to speculate too much because the market itself moves on so much speculation. So yeah, just have no expectations, but sometimes really question, like when you keep seeing what everyone else is hyping about, sometimes that is being done for a reason. But yeah, so how do you adjust lot sizing during high impact news? What do you mean, Indy? I don't really I don't change my lot size due to news. Let's see, let's have a look at silver. I haven't looked at silver for a long time, but I think it's cleaner than gold, to be honest. We haven't had as much of a big push up on silver. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Okay, so we've only recently literally just broken out of this trend. Yeah, this is an interesting place for me here. Let's have a look on the 4-hour, see what we have. Okay, so just gonna mark up some key areas. I always this is kind of like what I will do when I'm moving down the time frames. So this kind of area here would have been quite a key area for me because it was an area that we broke out of. So a really nice area to buy from. We kind of broke straight through, then used it as basically a demand zone. And then now we have our next 4-hour zone, which is here. So yeah, gosh, that would have been a good one. I don't know why I wasn't trading today. I've just had a lot going on because I've been just trying to get everything sorted from this week. But first week back from my holiday. But next week I will be absolutely back on everything. And I love silver. I do think it's just so much cleaner than gold. But yeah, like this is the kind of position that I would like to take. Very, very simple. And that would have been an amazing trade too, because I really, look at all of this clean range. Like I think it's definitely going to at least come back up to here, which would have been a 1 to 10. So that's insane. But I haven't even looked at silver for a very long time, but I do think silver is a great market to trade. Just it moves very similar to gold in the sense of it does what gold's doing, but I think because less people are trading silver, it's less manipulative. I just find it a lot cleaner to trade. But yeah, so this will be an interesting one to see if we kind of like break above here. If we then do get a break above, maybe then we use this area as our new area to buy from to then get to the next zone. So if you guys are new here, like for me, I'm literally just trading from zone to zone. I'm keeping my technicals very, very simple. I'm now starting to combine my fundamentals, because if my fundamental analysis can line up to my technicals, then I'm going to feel so much more confident within the trade. But yeah, so trading doesn't have to be overcomplicated, guys. You got to keep it simple. The more simple you can make it, the better, because then that's replicable. You can focus on all the other challenging things when it comes to trading, like your mindset, the psychology, the emotions that come up for you, rather than thinking constantly about a super complicated strategy. Simple strategies work just as well, and I've seen so many people do that. My mentor who owned the hedge fund, his favorite technical tool was literally breakout, retest, trend lines, fib tool. Like it's not anything crazy. Like his edge was how well he could research into fundamentals. But as you as a trader, you got to figure out what it is that you're good at and really hone in on what you're good at, instead of worrying about what everyone else is doing. But okay, guys, let me just get up our YouTube comment picker. Let me just let's get getting the link, and I will share my screen. There we go. Thank you so much, as usual, for everyone who is here supporting. Friday. But yeah, Friday will take a whole week profit. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, sorry, I didn't actually get round to reading everything, but let's do the giveaway, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support and being here. I really appreciate you all. So let's load the comments and find our winners for this week. Okay, cool. Let's go. We got 3 winners. Hopefully they're still here. Here we go. Start. I love doing this. This is such an easier way to do this. The way that I used to do this was an absolute nightmare. Okay, guys, let's see. I'm just checking the comments now. We got our winners on the screen. Mr. Cooch B. Mr. Cooch B. Mr. Cooch B. And then we got Saeed. Ibra. Sorry, I'm so sure I'm so sure I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but I can see you in the comments. Ibrahim. Congratulations. I'm just waiting to see if the other 2 are here. Mr. Coochby, yes, congratulations, you're here. And then we've got one more person. Let's just see if this other person is going to claim their prize. But yes, congratulations, guys. So the winners from yesterday, I've only just got round to receiving everyone's emails, so I'm going to send everyone's emails over together. Oh, there we are. Saeed, congratulations. Just double checking that. Yep, amazing. All of you guys are here. Please message me on Instagram, Doey Trades. I'm just putting it in the comments now. I'm the one with the blue tick. Make sure you don't message any other accounts. Otherwise, yeah, that won't be me. But we will be back again next week. Next Friday. It's only once next week, but I will be back again next Friday, normal time, and then we'll have 3 more winners. But congratulations to the guys who have won this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, being supportive. I really appreciate you all. Have the most amazing weekend, everyone, and trade safely next week. And we'll catch up on Friday. See you later. Bye.